Loading.
Live on Facebook. This meeting is being live streamed. Got it.
Oh, I guess I just say got it now.
Oh yeah, by staying in this meeting, you consent to being live streamed. Anyone who has access to live
Hey.
stream can watch or share. Ooh,
Oh,
got it.
this is going directly on our OnlyFans page.
Only nuns
Only
with fans.
nuns.
Where's
All
my
right.
fan right when I need it?
Right.
We're streaming.
Okay.
According
Facebook
to
tells
this,
us
it looks
we're
like
live.
we're live. Are we live, Sister Jared?
Facebook is saying we're live.
Okay. Hello, everybody in Facebook land. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, thanks for coming to How the F Are You? We're going to spend the next hour just talking, seeing what's on your mind, seeing what's going on. Maybe we'll talk to each other if no one's there. Who knows? I will do some quick introductions. I am Sister Mimosa Romero, a self-proclaimed Our Lady of Misfit Toys. If you're weird looking or odd, come talk to me. I'm your girl. And we're going to talk a little bit about the rules. I'm going to turn over to our Mistress of Technology, Sister Jared, to explain. Is everyone even on Facebook, Jared? Sister Jared?
Hello. It's Saturday after a Friday night, so who knows who's hungover or still at the bar. But I mean, we'll see. I'm waiting. I don't have anything yet. I'm actually going to go on my phone instead because it makes it a little bit easier for me to not have some weird echo or feedback. Oh, but it looks like Felicia Miner and Mr. Kevin, of course, Sister Sophie are both watching, and we have 3 other guests. Hello and good morning.
Hello. Good afternoon. What kind of sleeper are you?
So the rules are just that we're live to Facebook. If you want to ask us anything on Facebook, we'll try to answer here to the best of our ability. We ourselves are trying to be respectful of each other's space, so we'll try not to talk over each other, mute each other, do anything like that sort. And we're just going to talk for the next hour about what is on your mind. The title is How the F Are You? And we'll just have conversations and see where it brings us. And hopefully we don't have to cut it short to when we're in a good conversation, but we'll try to also stick to 1 hour.
Yeah. And Father Maury, and Father Maury's with us too. He may or may not be able to be heard, but either way, hi, Father Maury, welcome. Welcome, welcome. And for those of you who are watching or watching later, we are taking an opportunity to raise some money. So Sister Jared, can you talk just a little bit about who we're raising some money for today?
Right. So we do have a PayPal link. I'll go ahead and put it on the Facebook as soon as possible. And that PayPal link will directly go to the sisters' PayPal depository, let's say. But we're raising money today for the International Rescue Committee. You can find them at rescue.org. And the reason why we're supporting them is because currently there's some instability in Afghanistan that's putting the lives of thousands of civilians at risk. So we're just going to donate any dollar bills to them. They typically are, because International Rescue Committee, they typically help out any countries that are in any kind of crisis, including any kind of refugees that we tend to get here in the United States. So we do have a chapter in Phoenix, and so any money that we raise, we'll probably just donate straight to that Phoenix chapter. Just got to make sure that we get the right people in communication, but they're doing good work, so we want to make sure that we support them during this time.
Thank you. Well, Sister Jarrett, I'm going to start with you. Say your whole name though, because I always say Sister Jarrett, but I like everyone to know your name. So if people aren't familiar with the sisters, they can hear a name that's fun, because mine is not really all that exciting.
Right. My name is, Sister Jareth Harry Iriola of the Flaming Teat. But the way that I came up with it was, I was like, I want to have like a Latinx, like dark, like La Madre kind of creepy vibes. So I went with Iriola, which is how you would say it if you kind of said it with like a Hispanic or Spanish accent. So, but of the Flaming Teat, because I don't know, sounds good. Sounds spicy.
Oh, like flaming teats. Everybody loves a flaming teat, I suppose. Barbecue.
Yeah. Spicy milk.
Yeah, it happens. So, Sister Jareth, I'm going to start with you. How the F are you?
Well, okay, I have coffee, so I'm doing a lot better with the coffee. It's blurred out though, so you can't see it. It's been an up and down long 18 pandemic months thus far for me. So I feel like I'm doing relatively okay with all of the trauma, all of the grief, all of the drama, all of the what the heck is going on politically in our country. So I think all in all, I'm doing okay. I would say probably better than okay now that I have a new job. I'm excited about that. But aside from that, everything has kind of been the same. It's kind of been like boop, like not like, I guess not flatline, like not
Yeah.
dead, but just kind of like kind of down here. So I would say slightly better than okay. Final
Is
answer.
that
Just
slightly
kidding.
better than okay isn't bad in 2021 from
That's
what
true.
I've gathered. What three words would you use to describe how you're feeling?
Ooh. Definitely there's a layer of exhaustion. I feel like just always being tired, like tired because it's like stuff's happening at home and then stuff happening in Afghanistan and stuff's happening on TV and stuff's happening with COVID. A lot of exhaustion, just tired all the time, like
So yeah.
mentally and physically. Um, I would say excited for the new job for sure, like totally excited to see where that goes because I'm kind of building it myself. And
Mhm.
then let's see. I want to say anxious, and I don't want to say it necessarily as a bad word. I'm
Mhm.
anxious for being able to like get back out and do real things. Like I really want to go on a vacation. I haven't been on a vacation in like 2 years. And I typically take like a tiny one every year
Mhm.
because I'm not made out of money, but I'll go visit my friends in LA. Shout out to the Maloney Reyes who always host me. Um, and I just hang out in LA and I hang out with LA sisters and have a good time there. Just eating, oh my gosh, eating Vietnamese food, eating Filipino food, like having all of the foods and walking around and just experiencing the city. I always really enjoy that. But I haven't been able to do that in a couple of years. So I'm anxious, as in, I hope to do that this year.
What about you, Facebook people? Put some word for you if you're in Facebook and you want to participate. Put just one word in there that describes how you're feeling. So I'm curious what words come up now in August of 2021, almost September. Eesh. And Father Maury, how about you? You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I just want to check
Well,
in.
actually, I'm doing fine. The reason I don't have the camera on is because we're picking up groceries right now, so I'm just kind of joining by phone. Um,
Ooh, shopping. What you putting in your bag? What's it? What are you looking at right now? What bag?
oh, nothing yet, nothing yet. We're just waiting. We're waiting. We're doing the mobile order pickup, so we're just waiting for them to come and put it in our car.
Ooh, what's the naughtiest product you're waiting to be put in your cart?
Nothing really. That's not this. Unfortunately, not this kind of order.
It's no, so it's not
You're
like a
not going to get
chapel.
any, yeah, no eggplant, no
No, no
bananas.
eggplant, because I'm not really particular fond of eggplant, but I did get stuff for avocado toast, but I don't think that's
Oh, avocado
particularly
toast.
fun,
Cardi B talked about hers. Ooh.
right? But anyways, how I'm feeling, it depends on the time of day you ask me
Mm.
and the day that you ask me. I have my good days, I have my bad days. Right now, today I'm having a pretty good day. But overall, I'm kind of sad with everything that's going on, with everything that's going on at home, with everything that's going on in Afghanistan. I kind of am in that funk of, can't we just be nice to each other and say nice things to each other? Just because right now everybody is just mean and just awful to each other. They're saying the worst things they can say to people. I know we're coming out of the pandemic, which is cool. I like that. I'm glad to be back in the office part time. But yeah, I mean, right now it's just kind of that whole can't we just be nice to each other type feeling. And I'm just feeling sad because it seems like we can't be nice to each other. So, I mean, I've got a prayer in my heart that maybe people's hearts will lighten and people will find some joy within themselves, find that joy that we're kind of all looking for, that happiness that we all kind of need right now, because we are coming out of a bad situation, which is good, but we just need to kind of get there mentally too. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, but well, I'm sorry, Sister Jareth, were you going to say something?
No, I'm just like having that, like, evangelical, like I'm connecting to that spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, all of that.
Yeah. Now, and I'm trying to think too, if I were going to choose three words, I'd say strangely neutral. Sometimes I don't want to say dead, add inside, and sometimes sparkly. It really just depends on that. Because I was just talking with Sister Jared. This is the first time I've manifested in, has it been 3 months? Is that what she said? I didn't know that. And 3 months, where did 3 months go? What the hell am I doing? I can binge watch the hell out of Doom Patrol on HBO Max, but that's about my weekends anymore, which by the way, if you haven't seen it, see it. But today seems to be an okay day. I got to put something on, got booped and gooped. But what's interesting, any words in Facebook, Sister Jared? Anyone say anything?
Well, Miss Felicia Miner was saying, "Amen, amen" to vacations that are needed, and that mental always thinking, "What's next?" Right? Like that's my like hamster on a wheel, right? Sister Millie joined us as well and said hi, and then Sister
Millie.
Sophie. Hi, and Sister Sophie is saying that she's watching, but she is working. So I think a lot of our words could revolve around work too, right?
Yeah.
I feel like despite the pandemic and despite a lot of people losing their jobs, I think a lot of us have been fortunate enough to keep them.
Yeah.
But those of us that have kept their jobs are working pretty hard at them. I see a lot of people, that's all they're doing. They're putting their time into work. How
Do you
about
think
y'all?
differently than historically, or why do you think that's different now in 2020 and putting themselves to work than it was in 2019?
I think so. I mean, if you had a job and you were fortunate enough to keep it, right, and you wanted to keep it, so you were gonna like work your butt off to show that you're willing to keep it. There are a lot of layoffs that I think, you're like, well, I go home and I just like I binge Netflix or whatever. So I might as well do a 10-hour day or
Oh, okay.
you know what I mean? Like I feel like people are putting more time. I mean, if they're
Like, what are you
hourly, of
gonna do?
course,
What's your option? What's your other option? Sit at home
right?
and drink? Well, guilty.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, those are options, like I guess you could also put on a face and be like, whoop, so, but I think, after a while, you're like, I go stir crazy in being in the house. So if I'm in the house and also I'm working from home, I'm like, oh, there's my office right over there. I'm just going
Yeah,
to turn on my
exactly.
computer. Not a good idea, not necessarily healthy, but I think it is something that some people have done. But I don't know, like Facebook Landia, tell us, tell us what's going on with you.
Yeah,
Well,
and Jared,
I was just going to step in. You guys are all talking about vacations. Luckily, Sister Navi and I got to go to California for a little bit, which was, I mean, it was a much needed vacation because of everything that's been going on. So it was nice to kind of go to California, go to the beach, eat out in the restaurants, and kind of do all that. So yes, it definitely vacations right now, I think are needed by everybody. I really am jealous of Sister Levia and Sister Flora. They I guess I heard they got to go to Hawaii.
well,
So I really want to go. So we've been looking at that, but yeah, vacations right now, awesome.
so what was the flight like, Father Murray? I haven't been on a flight since, well, all this started. This capital T. How were the people? Can you talk about the flight? Because I'm not sure how I feel about it. How was your experience?
We didn't fly, we drove over. So
Oh,
ours was all
okay.
by car, but
Okay. How do you feel about flights then in general? Or do you think you'd be comfortable doing it?
yeah, I think I'm down for it. I mean, wearing a mask for 5 hours, I kind of do that at work right now when I go into work, but I think it will still be okay. I think just the fact that you're going someplace where you can get away, you can relax. I don't think it. I think that's worth having to wear a mask for 5 hours.
Yeah, I think what I'm hearing is we're all reduced to house, not house. And I don't know if that's true for everybody because my personal stance on things is I see the world living and going on as if the pandemic is over. Well, my own words, I see people behaving as if it's not there. I don't feel comfortable doing that, but it almost has changed it for me in the sense like, wait a minute, and it's my own thought. I own everything about it. I have to say, no, wait a minute. I'm still slightly uncomfortable even going to the store, and I'm weird. I own it. For those of you out there who are like me, Yay. Welcome. We're the hermits. We're the ones keeping Netflix and all the streaming services alive, for sure. Sorry. Oh, hi. Looks like we got another sister joining. Novice sister Pepper Grinder. Well, hello. We look forward to hearing from you. Are you going to be on camera?
I don't think she can hear us because she's currently connecting to audio.
Oh,
But
currently connecting. Okay.
in a
she's
minute,
getting in. She's
Yeah,
just
she's
testing
getting
the
in.
water.
She's getting in. But in Facebook Landia, Felicia's still with us, and she was saying, yeah, that she's also been focusing on work instead of worrying about like, what can I do? Where can I go? I know, who can I hang out with? I'm bored. But also, she's been saying that she's been doing a lot of shows, which I know we love some of the shows that you've been doing. Artistic expression is around doing artistic expression and being able to continue that during a pandemic and support your local queens, FYI, kings, queens, all of your performers, support your local performers. That is always super important to their jobs, to keep them around. I mean, that's a huge thing that happened in the pandemic. So many drag performers they went live on Instagram, on like digitaldragshow.com, those kinds of things. So Bradley Shaw also says that he needs to be out and shopping for retail therapy. Amen. I love a good shopping trip.
Bradley Shaw, are you not shopping right now? Do you not have a credit card in your hand? I know that one. That bitch buys shit. So
Yep.
don't act like you're suffering. I know where you live. Hi,
Creepy.
Mr. Pepper Grinder.
I would like to
Welcome.
give a
Welcome to. So we'll ask you, since you're new to our room, how the F are you?
I'm good. Just busy with work and life in general. So, but other than that, just living the dream.
What is the dream for you? Or is there like Salt somewhere around? Are you like going to re-release Salt and Peppa's hits in 2021?
Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm down. Put it out there. You never know what's going to happen. So
Never know.
Never know, right? So we've had two people talk about Afghanistan, and since we're raising some money for that, or for people involved in that scenario, I think it deserves some space with us. So I don't have any specific question other than maybe just start with you, Sister Jareth. How are you feeling? What does that do? What are the thoughts that are coming to your mind in that? Because that's a 20-year, I think 20-year, don't quote me on that, but 20-year event that just occurred.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that if you're not following what's going on anywhere in the world, particularly, that all of a sudden you become an expert when you do a Google search, right? So I'm not going to say that
does everywhere.
I know
Google makes lawyers and attorneys like that, and doctors too.
Right. Google and get a degree. I got a degree in Dr. Googleship. I can't say that I'm an expert, but I can say that obviously the politicism of it, the partisanship of it, which, we don't condone, but it just happens to be something that's driving, the conversation, which is both good and bad. But I mean, when it comes down to it, it's about human rights. I think at the most basic level, that people are concerned about the women and the children in these situations because of the people that are trying to kind of take over, that are maybe more radical in their beliefs, want to kind of enslave the women and the children, right, and keep them captive and control them. And I think that's the biggest thing that we see, is that there's a lot of violence toward them because of that, because they're trying to control those people. And so unfortunately, that doesn't mean just women and children are affected. Even the men of those families, sometimes the men who lose their wives because they're captive, they're captured and held captive, or lose their children, they're also affected, right? So we have to just stay as vigilant as possible and keep an open mind as possible when you're reading articles or seeing the news. That, really what it comes down to is, would you want, your sister, your daughter, your children, or your cousins, or whatever, however you want to say it, to be captured and kind of treated in this way? And the IRC, the International Rescue Committee, are doing good work to try to get some people out that can qualify as refugees, but they're also helping people that are there, because there are plenty of people that don't want to leave their home country, and we can't force them to. And so of course you want to bring some sort of relief to them. But I also, on the other side, playing devil's advocate, I don't want us to go in and kind of democratize everything. That's not really our purpose. We should really just be there being humanitarians. And I think that's really what the IRC is trying to do. So
Yeah, and as a reminder in Facebook land or people just joining, Sister Joy, if you put a link to them in the chat, didn't you, Facebook? If you want
yes.
$1, $5, anything will help, and that can just move something positive along. What I'm personally struck by, and I'm just curious of its effect on humanity. I mean, I clearly I don't have I'm an expert Afghanistan. I'm just curious of how the United States humanity and just people react. The thing that made me a little sad, and I think that as I talk out loud about how the FMI, maybe even alluding to what Father Maury talked about, is it's always a blame game. I can't comment on the 20-year plan to get out there. We don't, as sisters, get into political discussions, but I can tell you Biden is not the first president that's been involved in it. But regardless, why is the first thing everything happened? We have to divide and say whose fault it is rather than target problem solving and solutions. And I think as time has rolled over, as I've watched, and Father Maury, you were talking about this, of just being nice to each other. If there's a problem, it went wrong, fine, do a decomp later. Let's figure out who we were as people prior to, I'll say 2016, and see what we can do to heal. So I'm curious, and also curious how it's affected people who are veterans. And for someone who went through that and had some experience in Afghanistan, and I would assume, without knowing, one would have to have a belief in what they're doing to survive that experience, and then to see that happen could trigger the veterans in ways I can't even imagine. So everything you said, Sister Jeff, the humanitarian aspects of it, I'm going to say abuse because I don't know a better word for it. I'll minimize it with that word, but it just has rippling effects everywhere. And I wish that people would target what can I do versus who should I blame and who can I tell is wrong about their opinion about it.
Right. I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, not just politically, but in any situation where something goes awry, instead of pointing and trying to, project or put that blame onto somebody else, really reflect, take a look at yourself, take a look at the people around you. How can you make that situation better? And how can you be a human to other humans in that situation? I think that's a huge piece that often we're like, well, and we start to divide people into categories, religious categories, gender categories, political categories. They're a blank. I don't like blanks.
Yeah.
And
2022 is going to be the civil war of fucking masks. Dear Lord.
They're a masker. I don't like maskers, and then, and it's, yes, I understand there are human rights involved that we have as civilians of the United States. There are also rights that other people should have, but don't. And we're trying to make sure that they do have that equitable equality in their country. But also, we need to make sure that we're not stepping on toes and trying to do too much that's not really, I also think about the United States inserting itself into other people's business a lot. And, what does that say about us trying to come in and be like, we fixed it all? And then, like, we're like that dog with the coffee that's like, this is fine. Like the country is left kind of in a war torn up, divided situation. And so, not to be super political about it, but I think that we tend to do that a lot as a country. And so that really speaks to us as individuals. As individuals, we also want to insert ourselves into other people's business and, try to tell people what to do and how to do it, instead of reflecting on ourselves, looking at ourselves, trying to figure out, how can I be better next time this happens? Or how can I better the situation right now before it's too late, before it's too, too far gone? Because I really try to, in my personal relationships, have conversations with people before it gets to the point where, like, we don't talk to each other. What is that going to do? That doesn't help anybody. Then we all just kind of feel like poop, and we just sit there and watch more Netflix or go put ourselves into work.
All I took away from that is you insert. I heard insertion.
There's a lot of
insertion any way you do it. Boy. What about you, Father Maury? How about you? And how does that? You mentioned Afghanistan. How is that affecting you? Or what are your thoughts on it, rather?
I'm glad that we're getting out of it. I think 20 years is long enough that we need to be getting out of it. But I am sad that the whatever their name is, I can't think of it right now, that they're doing what they're doing. But we kind of knew that that was going to happen because they just been sitting on the sidelines waiting for us to evacuate. But, I mean, so unfortunately, we knew it was going to happen. But right now, we're just trying to get people out, to get people to be safe, because we know that once they take over, they are going to be killing people, assassinating people, and just basically, like Sister Jareth said, they're going to be forcing people to their ideals and what they believe in, which is a sad thing, which is what we as sisters try to fight against, because we don't want that stigma hanging over people that you have to do what we say because we want to control your life, we want to control your thoughts, so I'm just sad with Afghanistan just because every time you turn around, like I think like you guys had said, they're trying to blame somebody for doing it. It's not anybody's fault. I mean, these people are going to do what they're going to do, but we just I mean, I don't think there's much we can do about it other than let it happen. And then after it's happened and they've taken control, then we can try and do what we need to do to maybe get them out of control, because eventually they are going to be overthrown. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. And that's what's going to happen with them. They're taking over by the sword. And I think eventually people are going to get tired of it and then they're going to fight back. So we just need to be there to support people. And just, I mean, unfortunately, I think we just need to kind of take that step back to protect our own people and then step in when we need to give support. And then also, unfortunately, this is off topic, but I wanted to give a shout out to to Felicia Minor, because I follow her on Twitter and I love signing into Twitter every day and seeing her smiling face. She's one of the people that have helped me get through this pandemic, because I look forward to getting on Twitter every day and seeing her smiling face. So if you're not following Felicia Minor on Twitter, you should, because she's there all the time. She's trying to build people up, make people happy, and that's the best that we can do. So,
Well, I think we need to give snaps to Felicia Minor. Ooh, I do not know her. She's on here. Is she on Facebook right now?
Girl, you do not know Felicia Minor. Who do you know? Just kidding.
Netflix. I thought we covered this.
Oh yeah, you're
Fries,
right. You've been in your Netflix cave.
nachos, beer, Bud Light Zero. I discovered.
Well,
though.
she's
Nice little substitute.
yeah, she's the co-host of Let's Have a Fifi with Felicia Minor, and who is the other Mister?
Have a Fifi? What's a Fifi?
Well, like like Let's Have a Kiki, but Let's Have a Fifi.
Well,
You know
yeah,
what I
but
mean?
is that a thing? Is this another
Well,
thing I
because
don't know?
Felicia Fifi Minor, it's her
Oh,
nickname.
oh, she's clever too.
Yes,
I
yes,
need to
Freddie
know
Prince
her.
Charming. Thank you.
We need
Freddie
to
Prince
know-
Charming and Felicia Minor are like they're an item secretly. Nobody knows, but
Oh,
they've been
well, now
together
they
doing
do.
shows.
Way to keep a secret, Sister Jareth.
This pandemic has got me telling secrets.
Why are they on the
so-
DL? Oh, that doesn't matter. I'm
They're
just
not on the
curious because it's a little. We can do a mini series here. Ooh.
It is called sarcasm.
Oh.
No,
No,
they have been
spread
doing a show
rumors.
together for quite a while. Oh, and I guess so Michelle, who had kind of mentioned something in the chat earlier, that she's with you, Sister Momo, so she's also in a hermit cave, like just doing Netflix and her job, and she's good. She also said that Felicia Minor on TikTok is fantastic. So if you don't have a Felicia Minor's TikTok,
I'm gonna look this bitch up right now. I need to see this. For this much happiness, if she can bring Father Maury joy, I'm gonna do it. How do you spell Felicia?
Yeah.
Oh, it's TikToking right now. Sorry.
Oh,
Everyone, if you don't follow Felicia Minor, let's all do this together. How do you spell it? What's her name? How do you spell her name?
FELICIA, and then Minor.
Felicia, you didn't know you'd be a star today, did you? Felicia.
Yeah, she knew. She's a star each and every day.
Oh, she knew it, huh?
MINOR.
Oh, wait, am I gonna find her? Oh, look at her! I'm so
right?
Okay. Followed. Oh, look at those eyebrows. See? Is that this? Oh, well, that's not going to work well. Well, there you go. Promo. Thank you, Felicia Miner, for whatever you're doing. How do you stay happy? What do you keep yourself up for? Is she putting anything in the chat?
Yeah, let's ask. Let's see. She might say something. She
What's
got
your
tagged. So
secret?
yeah, how do you? Let's ask this question. How do you promote joy in your community?
Ooh, that's a good one.
And that's directed to Felicia, but also anybody else who wants to answer.
But while she's typing, how about you, Pepper Grinder? How would you do that? Oh, look at her lips. I'm gonna watch. Yay! What a fun takeaway. How are you spreading joy if and when you can find it?
I would just say actually just going up to people and engaging and trying to see how they're actually dealing with the pandemic and how they're dealing with I don't want to say their joys or their sorrows, but just to try and be there for them, and just to be supportive of whatever they're going through, no matter what it is.
Yeah. So basically, talk. So Sister Jareth and I were talking the other day. Is one of the things I don't want to speak for you, Sister Jareth, but please correct me if I'm wrong, is that we all are, many of us are motivated to talk and do something. But for whatever reason, something happens that moment, that day, where we just don't make that phone call and we don't email somebody. And then sure enough, 3 months later goes by and you have no idea what just happened in the last quarter. I'm speaking for myself only. So one of the best things I've learned recently is even if you have the idea, but not the drive, just do it. If you're not feeling you want to be creative, but you don't feel it, just put your body in the motion and your spirit might follow. I don't know if it's true for everybody, but I've found that it helps a little bit.
I always look at it as that if you see that person and you see that person struggling in whatever they're doing, or whatever they're feeling, and I have a problem sometimes that if you don't approach that person, and God forbid something happens to them, that you miss that opportunity. And I guess that's what I don't like, is I don't like to miss opportunities to talk to people, to try and get them through what they're going through.
Yeah, that's true. You gotta, if you trust your gut, is what I found. Is that what you're saying? If you feel it, do something.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends that I reach out to too when when I'm struggling or I'm upset and that type of stuff. And so you have that friend support, and you may not see that person again, but I know a lot of sisters have shared that they've talked to people and they have they've saved them from committing suicide or doing something terrible. So that's what I said. I always look to try and take that opportunity to talk to at least just say hi, how's things going, are you having a good evening, and if they're not willing to talk, then they're not willing to talk. But 9 times out of 10 they will say something.
It's true. Sometimes you just gotta ask. So do we have an answer? How does she spread joy?
Well,
I'm looking at her face and she makes me smile. I get it.
I know. I love that flamingo outfit. It's so great. That she has on her Facebook. She has not responded yet, so maybe she should go take a break from being
Everybody
so
subscribe
joyful.
on TikTok and here. I'm sure it'll come out.
Yeah, but we do have Ben has joined us, and Ben was just saying that he's doing well and he's always better when he gets to see his lovely sisters. So thank you for joining us today and saying that.
Ooh,
and then also,
well, hello, Ben.
I know, like slide into our DMs, Ben. We'll talk to you some more about how you can support the sisters. And then also Sister Anita from Philadelphia. Isn't Philadelphia the house of otherly love? And so isn't that cute?
Cream cheesy. Hello.
Yes. I don't know, like, how do I continue to spread joy? I think going back to that, to what y'all already said in regard to, gosh, just doing it, just reaching out. I know, like, sometimes we get stuck in those kind of depressive modes where we're like, all I want to do is work and then go lay down and then like eat some ice cream and that's, or like watch Netflix. And that's all I want to do. But like I haven't talked to friends in quite a while. And I know that that's what Mimosa and I were talking about, was like just reaching out to people, because I'm like, my phone is right here and I could just call somebody and I don't. And I pay for this motherfucker every month and I don't make any calls on it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I'm not texting anybody, I'm not messaging anybody right now. So I think I should probably use my phone and just reach out. And so the last couple of weeks, I have been reaching out and connecting with people that I care about. And that just makes me feel good. The hard part is to do it in the first place. But once you do it, as long as you're, you know, I guess like somebody that reacts to people energy like me, then I feel more energized. Then I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, now I have just a tiny bit more energy to call that next person and to reach that next person. And so just even calling them, even if I don't get them, even if I leave a message, they're like, oh my gosh, like thanks for calling me. I haven't heard from anybody in weeks or something, you know? So I think we're all in that same boat of we're not exactly doing it, but we got to push ourselves, and maybe we could start a chain reaction with some of this joy that we could bring to other people.
Yeah, I just keep going back to, you just got to force your body to do it. And that advice came from Hermit Queen. If any of you know who she is, she's an artist and a friend of mine, and she is highly artistic. And she was talking about how she just wanted to draw but couldn't find the energy. She works, as you said, and I find it's a sad place in the United States that people are trying to prefer work over contacting people, but that is kind of where we are. Is just do the act. If you think of someone, just text them, send them dick pic, send them whatever genital pic, do something naughty, freak someone the F out, just send that energy out. I wish I'm better at it. I haven't sent a dick pic in ever, but it's people do those sort of things, so it happens. But speaking of Netflix, I have a terrible story that's, I think everyone on this call might understand. I don't know the average age of whoever's on Facebook, but listen to this. I was getting my eyebrows done. This 13-year-old, maybe, waxing me, says, I just started watching Charmed. I said, oh, did you just discover Alyssa Milano? She said, who's Alyssa Milano? Let me just reflect on that for a minute. She was my first crush when I had crushes on girls at an early age. Team Steam, Who's the Boss, what's the Charmed, Shannon Doherty. She hadn't heard any of those names. I'm like, where are you watching this Charmed? It's on Netflix. She's watching the reboot, girl.
Mm.
People don't know who Alyssa Milano is. How old am I? And if you know who she is, how old are you?
I know who she is.
Good.
I know who she is.
Well, good.
I know who she is.
I actually used to have a crush on Danny DeVito. Tony Danza.
Tony, well, you should.
I knew that.
He's a cutie. He's a cutie
He
for sure. But come on. I hate being reminded of that kind of stuff. Have any of you been reminded of your age recently? In any kind of way?
No, I can't say that I have.
Well, that's okay. Cherish it. Because
Oh, I have one. I was watching, okay, so Clarice, which I think is CBS. I don't know what broadcasting network it is, but Clarice is kind of the remake, or not the remake, I'm sorry, the sequel to Silence of the Lambs. So it's a show based on Clarice, like immediately, like within a year or something after she gets, you know, rescued and finds like Buffalo and everything. I love Silence of the Lambs. So I'm like, let's watch this show. I think it's going to be great. Start watching it. And then like I went to go tell my brother about it. And I was like, it's like that one movie with that guy that like loves Chianti and like fava beans and like there's a bunch of moths and like, you know what I'm talking about. And he was like, Silence of the Lambs. Like I had the longest like 35-minute brain fart. I could not remember the title of that movie. And I've never had that moment before. And it scared the crap out of me because I was like, how can my brain not get there? I'm like, you know, Clarice and the fava beans and the Anthony Hopkins. Like I remember the actors and the situations, but I couldn't remember the name of the movie. And
I
yeah,
I see moments on a daily basis, so don't feel bad.
this is going to happen more and more often, I feel. And so I'm just going to tell you now, I don't remember your name. I don't know your face. I don't know who you are.
I'm just gonna do a pre-forget you. I don't know who you are.
It's like, I'm going to tell you now, I apologize that I will forget who you are and where you're from. And, people come up to me all the time. Oh my gosh, hi, I haven't seen you in a long time. And I'm like,
I don't think you
I
saw
haven't seen
me
you
ever,
ever.
bitch. Are you 6
Yeah.
feet away? And are you masked? That's the benefit of being around people who
Yes.
are masked. You're like, I don't know you. Just
Yeah.
mm.
Well, and
Yeah.
I think the thing too is that our brains right now are just kind of on overload with a lot, and to remember everything, it's just like, it's just like signing into, work computer. It's like, okay, what was my password again? What was my password for that? It's like, I have to write them all down, but it's just like, yeah, your brain's just on overload sometimes that you just can't think straight.
Anyone say anything in Facebook land? In the book of the face, El Libra de, oh, I don't even know how to say it in Spanish.
El Libro de la Cara.
Is
Mm.
that how you say it? No.
Yeah, but like people in Spanish, they just call it Facebook. Like
Oh.
FEISBUK. El
Oh.
Facebook.
Well,
Well, I did put in there some links to Hermit Queen and to Felicia Minor. If you want to go check them out, they're there. But I haven't had any recent comments on what we've been saying. But
well, what are you obsessed with right now? So if we're all stuck at home doing our own crap, what crap are you into? I recently just burned 100 brain cells on TikTok, but now that I saw Felicia, now I got a good reason to. I tried to avoid it, but it's awful. What else?
Yeah,
what are you
okay.
into right
I
now?
don't have a TikTok, but everybody sends me TikTok videos. And so of course I watch them. And then like sometimes they're funny and sometimes I'm like, no, I don't need to spend more time watching this. I'll just stop. It's a TikTok. It's like 20 seconds long, but I'll still stop it short. So
What are you into?
I'm obsessed with, well, okay, like TikTok is just all over the place because people send me stuff and everybody's got different likes. So I don't really have like a trend on TikTok that I'm into, but I have been watching a lot of Katya and Trixie lately, and them watching things and even rewatching their old shows of them watching things. I just finished season 3 of Glow Up, which is the UK makeup challenge. Like it's a reality show where they have UK makeup artists challenge each other and they have a
I
lot of
watched
guests
Trixie
and
and
stuff.
Katya watch that.
I watched them watch season 1 and then of course that blew up. So then that's how Glow Up got famous on Netflix, right? And then they actually got like a deal with Netflix to just keep watching and commenting on things. Anyway, I saw season 3. Season 3 is great. I do recommend it. I can't say I'm a professional makeup artist or anything, but I get tips and tricks from it. I think it's great. They talk about symmetry, they talk about blending, they talk about colors, they talk about different kinds of brushes to use. And then they also have a lot of things that they bring to the table that you wouldn't think. Like this season, they introduced pronouns, which is great because not everybody uses he or she pronouns. They introduced talking about autism and being on the spectrum or having neurodiversity, which is really cool because a couple of their artists have some sort of neurodiverse autism affecting them. They talked about other issues like trauma or coming out of the closet or things like that. So it's a very all-encompassing show, and you learn a lot about the players in the game through these small conversations, and they try to bring that out in their makeup, and I think that is beautiful. So I'm obsessed with people turning their feelings and their thoughts and their past and their trauma into makeup. I think that's amazing.
Ooh. So what would your face say about you?
I had an hour this morning and I had some coffee before I did it, but just a little bit. No, I don't know. I mean, of course, like my colors are red and I would be wearing my cornet, except I can't put my headphones around it. So like, F the piece, but I don't know. Like, I think I did a pretty decent job this morning.
Yes, I applaud your eyebrows. They like we were talking before we started. They looked like they were glued on, like they were cut out from something. So we're gonna honor all the good work someone did. I like that, Sister Jared.
Yeah, I think so. And it's even like the pain and the suffering and the trauma and the crying and the loneliness and whatever they talk about on the show, it all comes out in the makeup in like a beautiful way, not in a, I'm gonna stab my model kind of way. It's not like that. And so
I've
I think
watched
that's
that.
amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
What about you, Father Maury? What are you obsessed with right now? Besides the
Sorry, I had to mute myself. Right now I'm obsessed over the Starbucks drink I just got. It
What
was
is
the
it?
apple crisp frappuccino.
Mm.
The what the hell did you just say to me? What's it called?
It's an apple crisp frappuccino. It's their new
Mm.
fall drink, and it's awesome. So
Someone needs to
that's
talk
kind of what I'm obsessed over. But like you, I try to binge watch as much as I can. But unfortunately, with having to go to work and get up so early, I don't have a lot of time in the evening to watch some of my shows. So I try and catch up as much as I can. Right now, I'm watching The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, which is awesome, and it's kind of getting interesting. But when you were talking about the original Charmed, is like, oh my God, I'm so old. I think I'm so old I fart dirt. Just because,
That's what I heard.
I mean, I remember I love the old Charmed and I love the new Charmed right now. And then when Sister Jareth was talking about Clarice, I am into Clarice, completely into Clarice. They did a really good job this season on it. So I'm looking forward to season 2. And but right now I'm just obsessed with kind of just trying to live and be there.
That's
And
good.
you had asked about spreading joy. I think the way that I've been trying to spread joy is just by following people on social media. And when they post something I find inspirational, I try and share that, because right now I feel that that's kind of what we need. We need to feel love. We need to feel inspired. We need to feel happy. And so I just try and share that, and hopefully some people get it, and if they don't, well, then that's fine too. But I mean, it is what it is, and the best we can do is try. So that's just me. But okay.
What about you, Pepper Grinder? What are you obsessed with right now? What can't you stop putting in you, around you, or in your ear hole?
Right now, I'm obsessed with, and it's something from Walmart, and they are raspberry jelly powdered donuts. If you have not had them, they're the bomb. Wait 1 second.
Wait, Walmart from their own bakery, or is it's a product that only Walmart carries?
Girl, she gonna get one. She gonna get one.
Well, I just eat. I just go find crazy shit and put it in somewhere. That's what I do.
Is there an anal option for this donut?
Yeah, is there a suppository version? Gives me the raspberry right away.
Oops. We're too close.
Hey, I think
Okay.
that's South Park.
And what?
Okay.
Okay.
So
That
they're
was an episode on South Park.
They're raspberry filled
true.
donuts.
So they're filled with raspberry jelly?
Yes.
That was my
What the
nickname
heck?
in high school too.
And if you can find them, buy as many as you can, because they don't last on the shelf.
Oh my
But-
gosh, is there a black market on eBay for these raspberry donuts?
Not yet. Yes, I'm obsessed with those. And I will say that they freeze very well. So, but I will say that the other thing, my obsessions is I'm rewatching, if you have not watched the Ozarks
Oh.
on Netflix. I'm rewatching it again. They're supposed to have a 5th season, but I don't know when that's going to come out. And then my other obsession is with it's also on Netflix, and it's called Virgin River. If you have not seen it, it's actually kind of I don't want to say it's a chick flick, but the scenery is absolutely gorgeous. The scenery is just absolutely gorgeous.
What's the name of this show?
It's called Virgin River.
Virgin?
Yes.
Like not having. Oh, okay. Well, sounds nice, or naughty, or maybe not, or pure. What's it about? Besides
It's a love hate relationship between the guy and the girl, and there's a lot of other stuff that's involved in it. But it's actually really really good. So
Virgin River. All right.
yeah. And then I don't know. Other thing is that I've just kind of been I mess around on Pinterest and I like to mess around with different. I like to bake more than I do cooking. So I like to try different things. Simple, easy peasy, easy squeezy type of recipes.
Wow. We'll bake something then. See if you can reproduce those raspberry donuts. I'll make your own raspberry lemon. Do something dirty to them.
These are now cream filled.
Totally. You know what I'm obsessed with as of this last night or this morning? It's this artist, and her name escapes me right now, but I just heard the song Telepatia on, she's been around for a while, but I cannot think of her name. It's, anyway, are you Googling it, Sister Jared?
Yeah, you said it's what it's called. She has a song called.
I think it's telepathy in Spanish, but that's just from context.
Oh.
But I just learned about this artist, and there is some goddamn siren craziness about this woman's voice to me. I get notes of like Amy Winehouse meets Sade meets whatever the hell this woman does, and I'm just into her. And she's
Ali.
creative. I love her music. I just started watching her this morning, so she's.
Oh.
What were you gonna say?
Like her name, it says Kali Uchis.
That's it.
Okay.
So she's a music artist.
She is a Colombian American neo soul pop star, Kali Uchis.
That's what I would have said.
Her real name is Carly Marina Loaiza, and her song Telepatia, telepathy in Spanish, has been considered a worldwide hit and has inspired TikTok lip sync challenges. So.
Oh, well, I know what I'm doing after this. Telepatia. I don't know what kind of music y'all are into. I'm not a neo hippie crystal Sedona, whatever it's called, whatever she does. But it's fun, and she does some fun. Some of the music videos, she actually, to me, is creative and makes them into art, whereas it's not just some chick flopping around like, oh, I'm unhealed, let me stick it in. I mean, she does open her legs wide and it blurs it, and she does use sex, but there's just something about her. I'm just into it. So.
Okay.
Take it.
I guess she started blowing up. She was on the Jimmy Fallon show in April, so she started blowing up right around then because, of course, she got television time. But yeah, she's on Spotify. You could find her.
Yeah, I followed her on Instagram. She's gorgeous. Oh my god.
Well,
I started daydreaming about her and Jennifer Lopez doing some kind of cougar daughter dance thing. I don't know. But
oh my god.
That's what I did this morning. This is what I do after I do my fancy morning routine of microwave cupcake and coffee. Saturday's starting, So that's what I'm obsessed with as of this morning. Ask me again tomorrow. Who the hell knows what's gonna happen? What about Facebook? What should we be obsessed with, Facebook people? Tell us.
Yeah, Facebook, tell us some stuff you're obsessed with.
Yeah, I've already got one new TikTok thing. So thank you, Father Maury, for all of you for having this discussion. Apparently I'm late to that party.
Well, now you could create your own TikTok account, do the telepatia Facebook TikTok lip syncing challenge.
Do you know what? I've never done a TikTok. Do you know what that's going to look like the first time I do that? It's going to be like, that's it. It'll be off.
It'll be like, is this on? And then that'll be it. It'll fade.
That will be. The technology it's slowly starting to, I find myself middle ground with it, but it's slowly starting to top me.
On TikTok, they're hilarious. They can be a little crass. And
we don't deal with crass. Stop talking now.
Look up Madge. It's Madge and Biscuit. It's a guy and a girl, but they do dress up. The guy obviously dresses in drag. And Madge does dress up also, but they're just absolutely hilarious. They make me laugh every time. So it's Madge
and Biscuit or Madge and a Biscuit?
No, Madge and Biscuit, and I think it's BISKETT. It's not like a eating biscuit.
Yeah, their website madgeandbiscuit.com says cocktails and fart jokes, so you know what you're in for.
Those are my people. How have I not heard of Madge and Biscuit?
You have got to watch them. They're hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Well,
Biscuit
done.
is, Biscuit is
learning.
Biscuit is the worst.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't she be?
She
Whatever.
is.
Okay. Do we get anything from Facebook people? What should we be obsessed with?
Nothing. There are people watching, but we don't have
Oh.
any suggestions as of yet. But I
Well,
think I
that's-
have seen Madge and Biscuit, like for lack of better terms, the dude dresses up in drag, and then they have conversations almost like they're like sister friends or like sister wives or something. Like they have these conversations. I think I've seen it before. They wear like this like crazy 60s wigs and stuff,
Mhm.
right? Okay.
Oh, people.
So fun.
Humans, we are such strange little creatures. How we survived all these years, I have no idea. Well, we are approaching the hour, so we should probably do a bit of roundtable, Sister Jarrett, just to see how the F are you? We've been talking for an hour, so maybe are you 1 inch better, 2, 3, or anything for the rest of the world, anything you want to send out? What are some final words you have for us, Sister Jarrett, about how the F are you?
Well, I'm a grower, not a shower. So I will say that
I also heard that.
Yeah, that's been going
Circle K.
around. I know. I have been having a good time with y'all. I think this has definitely helped me out. Oh, Angie just popped in and said she is obsessed with Bailey Sarian, which if you haven't watched Bailey Sarian, she does makeup, but she also has her makeup murder mystery Mondays. I know that's exactly how she says it. And she basically talks about like somebody that murdered somebody or a mystery that's still unsolved. And she does her makeup at the same time. And her YouTube has longer videos than Facebook because Facebook has to like edit for, being PG. But her YouTube videos are great. So watch.
Who is this again?
Her name is Bailey Sarian. She's a makeup artist. And she just started doing this makeup murder mystery Mondays thing, I think like 2 or 3 years ago. And I mean, you would be obsessed, Sister Mimosa Romero, if I could get your name right. Go and check it out. She's great. I don't know, I think I've seen him a couple of times because she also gives you like tips and tricks on how to do your face at the same time that you're learning about murder and mystery.
Death and makeup. Okay.
Right.
I'm gonna go to a mortuary.
And Jason Lander says that he loves to watch our live discussions. So I'm so glad that we have not put you in the grave yet with our silly
Who was
discussions.
that? Jason, who that?
Mr. Jason Landers.
Jason Landers, thanks for watching. I like being watched. Think of me fondly. And my other sisters, but mostly.
But mostly me.
What were you gonna say, Jared?
So what I was going to say was, I think that this was really refreshing. Thank you for having this quaint but amazing tea time with us, just talking about how the F are you and things going on, just anything that came up for you. Super great. I am obsessed with the things that you're obsessed with. I have links to almost everything in the chat. So if you want to go check it out, those donuts are in there. You could buy them. So you could check that out. And I am going to spend tomorrow kind of doing the same thing, but with a different group of people, just like chilling and having like an all-day retreat in Sedona. And I can't wait with my T Phoenix people. And I think this is really giving me the energy to go do that. So thank you all for that.
Go sit in the vortex and suck on it for me and bring me back the juice.
Oh,
wait,
okay.
Is that right? Is that not how it works? No.
I think that's how it works, actually. Yeah, I think it's like squeezing a lemon. You got to juice it.
Okay, squeeze it for me.
Also, Angie, I did send an email out to the sisters, but if you go check out Angie's page, she's doing like a Fab over 40 contest, and you could vote for her for free on Facebook. And she's been doing a lot of HIV and AIDS advocacy in not only the Phoenix community, but communities across the globe for decades. So she deserves your vote. If you want to go vote for her, it's free. I'm sure you could find the link on her page. I'll also try to find it and put it here. And also, Bronwyn says that this has been fun. You all look great. And I think that she asks, yes, that Bailey Sarian does have a YouTube. Yes. Okay.
Is that Bronwyn S? Hey, Bronwyn.
Bronwyn S.
Hi,
The sick sense, Bronwyn.
Oh, I can't wait to hear you again one day and saying terrible things. So anything you want to tell, any sister events coming up or any event for you, Sister Jarrett, you want people to know about?
Oh, hex yeah. So I'm doing if you check out my page, I'll also link it here. I'm doing I think it's called Bop and nope, I don't know. It's a boxing bop and box, something like that. I'm sorry, I'm
Is this
getting
a
the name wrong.
lesbian thing?
Is it-
No, it's for charity. The lovely sister,
Doesn't really
the lovely sister,
exclusive.
my lovely sister in drag, Carnita Asada, is putting on this event to raise money for the Phoenix Pride Scholarship. So we're going to just go a couple of rounds of boxing for charity, and that will be at the Deuce, and it's coming up at the end of September. So I will link that also. But that's the one thing that I'm doing for charity that's coming up. I know that a lot of our sister events are going to start coming up here when it gets a little cooler, like end of September. We start getting into October. And then, of course, like Pride is coming up too. So I'm sure we'll be out and about.
Or online, for those of you who are in the Mimosa camp and you just want to see each other virtually. I might do something. Tell me what you want to see. We'll talk about it. All right, we'll keep wrapping up. Pepper Grinder, what would you like us to know now that How the F Are You is concluding?
I'm actually good. Going to be going to Bisbee in a couple of weeks. They're having an event out there. It's called Mineshaft. So you can go to mineshaft.com and check that out. I don't know really what it's about, but we'll see once. It's supposed to be a fun weekend.
Wait, you're going to Bisbee to participate in something called Mineshaft, and you don't know what it is?
Well, I get to do a little more research, but I am going.
So, okay.
But it's going to be fun.
Be safe. I heard mine and shaft, and there's just a lot to unpack with that.
Got it. Always safe.
Yay, Bisbee Mineshaft. Okay, take pictures. OnlyFans, $2.99 a month starts here. How about you, Father Maury? How the F are you now that we're concluding our hour?
Oh, sorry, I was on mute because I didn't think you needed to hear me going to the restroom. But
Everybody poops.
I just wanted to leave people with just be cool with each other, be kind to each other, and we love you. Don't forget that the sisters, no matter what, love you, and we love working with you and being with you. And, just be kind to each other. That's what I would like to do with people.
Yeah, thank you. That's very true. With the sisters, we're happy to spend some time. Email, call us if you want to talk, communicate. Please do. And I always say, sparkle, darkle, whore, and gore. I support all of it. All of it, with consent, of course, but all of it. All of it. Anything else? Anyone want to say something in Facebook Landia? Those of you on the face in the book. Any final words that we should know about, Sister Jareth?
I think we're good. I'm just trying to link everything that we just mentioned up there and wrap it up, but we're all good if you're all good, and we'll see each other hopefully next month for another talking circle. And again, if you do have any kind of requests, you want to hear anything from us, let us know. Sister Mimosa and I have our DMs open for sliding into.
Exciting. And remember, we have fundraiser, $1, $2, $3, $4, whatever you can do would be helpful. And we will take those, and the link is in the bio as well. And our Instagram profiles, at least Sister Jarrett's and mine. Please donate. We'll keep those up there for a while. Even if it's $1, that can spread something and some joy in some way. So if you don't have it, give it away. That's the best way to make it happen. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for visiting with the Grand Canyon Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence this hour. How the F are you for this talking circle? Thank you, and we love you. Have a good day, everybody.